Welcome to the Rachel and Cassandra Show. Before we begin, our disclaimer. I know it sounds like Rachel and Cassandra are giving legal and financial advice, but I promise you, they're not.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel Evers here with my lovely sister, Cassandra Evers, to talk to you about real estate stuff. Do we really have to do this introduction every week, or is this an old pattern I'm just repeating?
I think it's an old pattern. We have the sweet, disclaimer.
Dominic
we
talking.
got the music coming in. So, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah. I feel like I always want to say, like, we are, just sharing what we know to maybe shorten the learning curve for other people out there doing our business or homeowners who might be interested. I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Anyway.
Let's get straight to the topic. What are we talking about today, Rachel?
Oh my gosh, my favorite know-it-all topic today is how to get your house ready for sale. Like, what should you do? And it's so Googleable, but still worth talking about. You know why? What
I
happens
don't.
when-
So before you say why, I just want everybody to know I'm basically passively listening and interrupting her with questions that pop into my head for the entire show today, because this is not my anything.
Is that not what I do every time you talk about interest rates or mortgage pre-approvals or how to qualify or all the boring shit you talk about? That is super important, but numbers?
How is that boring? It's amazing.
I know, I'm kidding. It's actually incredibly interesting, but not my wheelhouse. So my job is to extract information from you as
like vanilla.
Like,
okay,
yes.
so yeah.
So you want to role play this? Hello, are you selling your house today, ma'am?
I am, and all of my pictures are hanging on the wall, and it smells like cat piss. Am I ready to roll?
Sweet. The market loves pictures of your family and the smell of cat piss. You're doing great.
Awesome. Top dollar, right?
I will charge you a bunch of money to put a sign in your yard, and we'll just wait for the money to roll in together. How does that sound?
That sounds like I've hired a discount agent who's not going to get me top dollar for my home. So, Rachel, how does somebody get top dollar for their home?
I love my analogies, right?
Oh, I do.
Which ones do you want?
I want the ones that relate to prepping your home for sale.
Yeah, the ones that really work, right? Sellers often look at their house and they're like, oh, should I put in new granite countertops and re-tile my entire bathroom and like high dollar expensive things? And though those things can increase the value of your property, if you're a flipper or if you can, I always get so tied up because there's always a freaking outlier. There's always a fucking unicorn scenario where somebody did this wild thing and it worked for them this one time and people get tripped up on it. That's not what we're talking about today.
Right. Give me the general. I think you know
would
what
rather
you need to
tell
me to clean my front door and get the cobwebs gone than retile my bathroom.
Cleaning your house is the highest return on investment thing you can do to get top dollar for your home. A great house that is grubby, and grubby seems to be the right word, like cobwebby and grit and what? Hand raising, what? You got a grubby house?
Yeah, I was joking. I was totally joking, yes.
Right. Well, okay, so here's the thing. You do have a grubby house. Most people who live in their homes are living in their homes. It's not show ready. People come to my house and I warn them, I live here. This is not show ready. Just because I'm a real estate agent doesn't mean I live like I'm always selling my house. I love my home. We live there. And I don't see, and you probably don't either, the dust on your baseboards. I know that there are people out there who are OCD and like love spending their time on their hands and knees with a fucking toothbrush. Fine. Good for you. It's not most of us. What? You were raising your hand, Cassandra.
No,
you have a question?
I was simply saying in my entire life, I know two people who live in a show-ready home, who you could literally open the door and list it for sale, perhaps take 5 photos down. But other than that, it's perfection.
Yep. And they are out there. And boy, can I tell you, when I find them as clients, I love them. They're my favorite.
Why?
Because I don't have to spend so much time walking them through the part where I have to tell them to take down the pictures of their kids, and where I also, because I love stuff, I don't have to tell them, I too love your freaky art, but you have to take it down if you want to have it's real.
I love freaky art.
I know.
Would be so sad if we sold our house and I had to take it down.
Yeah.
We probably would have to, though. You're right.
Well, you don't have to take all of it down, but it's everything in moderation, including moderation. No.
The dead carrier pigeon artwork?
Maybe.
Okay.
You know, it becomes a matter of volume and, okay, we got to dial this back, because at the very beginning, we're going to talk about how when you sell your house, the most important thing you can do is be strategic about every step. If the less strategy you have with every decision, the more of a hot mess you're going to end up with. If you just get strategic at the beginning, pick a goal date to go on the market and start reverse engineering every step of the way. And I mean every step. What pictures you use, what order they're in, who takes the pictures, the day you go on the market, how you choose your asking price. And all of those things are important, but we're here to talk about how to get your house ready. So let me bring it home. So your house is grubby because you live in it. So we need to get the smell of you off of the house, basically. And I use this analogy of it's always a relationship analogy with me. Everything's a fucking relationship. So you're going to put your house on the market, and step one is to make a lovely online dating profile, right? Think of it. What we want to do is make it easy for the buyers to swipe right or left. I've never used that app, so I'm not sure which one is.
Swipe yes.
Swipe yes, correct. We want to make
I'm
it
with you.
easy for them to do it. So once people have said yes, their next thing is they are going to, you want to make it easy for them to set aside time in their life to get off their ass, get their kids, whatever, situated. They've already got their mortgage, their house is sold, or they don't have one to sell. Now they have to contact a real estate agent or their already relationship established real estate agent and set aside time in their day to come out and see your house in real life. This is like going on a first date. So what do you not do on a first date if you want to win the date? You don't wear fucking sweatpants. You don't have boogers. You don't have food in your teeth. You brush your teeth. You put on deodorant. You put on a decent outfit. Doesn't have to be a freaking ball gown, but you put a little bit of effort in. You don't have to, but the outcome, put on a bra. Cassandra, that's lovely. You really should switch the view so she can do that again.
No, it was fine.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. The tits are really throwing me for a curveball here.
Well, so basically you have to make it desirable, right?
Me either. Yeah, you want to make it easy for the person to want to go on another date with you. You do the same thing with your house. Everybody gets food in their teeth sometimes. Everybody gets a booger sometimes. Your fly might be open sometime in your life, but if that's your first impression, it's going to impact whether or not you have that second date. So translate that over to a house. If someone comes to your house and the first thing they see is a bunch of mouse poop by your front door and cobwebs, we all have them. And in my case, there's chicken shit on my front door. My chickens love to huddle in the cubby where my front door is, and all they do is sit there and shit all day long. Right? So if I'm putting my house on the market, I need to handle that first.
Yeah.
Anyway, ask me some questions. What's the burning question? Should I?
So my assumption is my realtor will tell me what I need to do. However, is it important or imperative or better if I hire a company to come clean it, if I can afford it, and if I hire a company to stage it?
So those answers are...
Don't tell me it depends.
It depends. Yeah, it is. It's true. So the short answer is, yeah, you're always going to get better results hiring a professional. Always. So sometimes what's happening in the market can help answer those questions. So clean house is a no-brainer. You can clean it yourself, but you're probably going to get better results if you hire someone who doesn't live there because they see it with different eyes. You don't see your own dirtiness. You don't. You live in it. It's you.
The dude who mows my lawn does a way better job than our son.
Yeah. Even though you still have a mowed lawn. That's a really great reference.
Okay.
And then clean house.
So clean house is number one, inside and out, right?
Yes. Power wash the outside. It's such an easy thing. That freaking north face of your house that has the mold or algae or whatever that green black shit is that grows in Michigan, just spray it off. Clean it.
Yeah, I basically read something like one of the most overlooked things is, cobwebs around the door light, the front door light, which is the first door
dead
people
bugs
go
in the globe, if there's a globe.
Yep, a ratty, like mailbox, sidewalk cracks, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be meticulous, but so probably money very well spent would be, if you can get it done. Michigan's pretty cheap. $1,000 to have somebody come deep clean your house and power wash the outside, kind of a bit.
Yeah, and what we're managing to here, just from a frame of reference, is impressions. It's really easy to start feeling overwhelmed, like death by 1,000 cuts. The list gets really long when you start articulating, okay, you got to get the leaves out of your flower beds and cobwebs.
Can you pull up your list? Because it's not even as intense as some I've seen. It's very overwhelming. It's the, can you pull up the PD, that one?
Yep.
This is just like a primer compared to some.
Yeah, well, and it's not 100% of it has to happen in every house, like wash shower curtains. Well, in my case, I have rusty water. So the bottom of my liners is yellow. I would just replace those. But the curtains themselves are fine. But yeah, it's very simple. We're managing to, well, it says right at the top, clean, replace, pack, and organize. Have that be your guiding principle. Best advice I tell my sellers, you're moving anyway. Start packing up all of your shit that you're not using. Put it in the garage, put it in the basement. Pack all that stuff into one place. Buyers can process that one section of your house is being used to hold your personal items because you're moving. It's harder to process your house on whether or not I want it if I can't even see it because there's so much stuff and it's your stuff. Pictures of your kids, your life, whatever the evidence of your life is. I almost said something about your tickets behind you. That is a very personal item.
Oh, yeah.
But it's neutral. It's not pictures of you and Adam at concerts. It's concert ticket stubs. So that's okay. It's decor.
Yeah. And I suppose everyone's got something similar to whatever. Everyone's got their own taste. And so I know it's imperative that somebody is able to envision their family, their belongings, their style in the home, which is, I assume, why a lot of things are neutral. If people are advised to paint, it's usually coming from a deep color to something pretty generic.
Yeah. So other guiding principle, like you are going for you want your house to feel like a nice hotel. No evidence that anybody actually lives there, but it feels like anybody could step in and start unfolding their life there. Okay. It may not be functionally real. You walk into a hotel lobby, there are these little clusters of seating areas. That may not be how anybody actually ever would live in the space.
For one cup of coffee, literally, and maybe that's it.
But it feels nice.
Right.
Selling your house effectively is manipulating the feelings of the buyer. Always. People buy their feelings and people eat their feelings. That's it. So we want them to buy their feelings. We want them to buy what they feel in your house.
No, that
you have
makes
to
sense.
Be watching to see this comedy gold here, people.
Yep, just go slide right over to it. It's really not that funny. I'm just being a dork. So clean, organize, pack the stuff. So if I do all of that in advance,
make people feel feelings that they want to feel again.
Feel my feelings. things about my Feely house. I know. So what does that translate to? So obviously it'll make your exit quicker, right? It's more work up front, but your shit's already packed. Does it translate to more money, less days on the market? What does it do?
So let me start by saying it's so nebulous because the only way to detect an actual number would be to sell the house twice in alternate universes. But numbers will tell you, like statistical, I'm going to say this and I don't have any statistics to back it up, so it's annoying. But a clean house sells for more, sells faster. It's going to get you a buyer who we're making it easier for the buyer to say yes to your house without a bunch of contingencies. You're less likely to get a bunch of, I don't know if I want to pay that much and I need, you do your inspection, they're going to be more likely. Hold on. When it's easy for them to fall in love with your house, it's a lot easier for them to overlook all the ways that your house isn't perfect. And I promise you, your house isn't perfect. Even the perfect house is missing one of the circles, right?
Right.
Location, price, style, condition, floor plan, the physicality of the house. Where was I going with this? Help. Dial me back in.
I said, what does that translate to?
Oh, yeah. It translates to a faster sale price at a higher sale price, faster and higher. What? Oh my God.
So a lower time on market. So
hold on. The longer you sit, the less you get.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, I couldn't find the fucking words. I know that's what you were going to say, but putting it into... Those are the actual words that I use with that particular diagram. I'm sure I've showed it on this show before. Mm-hmm. It's just easy to remember. I know that's what you were going to say. I'm 47 years old. I needed the minute to find the fucking words. They were buried.
Well, and I only know because you're the one who told me basically if the house has been sitting on the market for 30 days. I just had a realtor say, oh yeah, we'll find him what he wants if he goes and find one that have been on market for 30, 45 days because there's something wrong with them. And usually
buyer
what's
psychology
wrong with them, they're dirty. Yes. And I know the market and desire for rehab homes, right? That sweat equity it feels like it's plummeted. I haven't had anybody try.
Buyer appetite for sweat equity is in the toilet right now because you
couldn't find a builder even if you wanted to.
No. And what is the channel that has all those home buyer shows that are so not real? HGTV has ruined it for people.
Yeah. They ruined it for me. I look at my kitchen and I hate you, kitchen. Mm-hmm. I just can't think of a good design. Okay. Yeah. So get the house ready to sell. Make sure it's clean. It smells good. Depersonalize it.
Closet's half empty. That's the other no-brainer. Easy. You're moving anyway. Half empty closet feels full and spacious at the same time, even if it's a tiny closet. It's oh, look, it's holding stuff and there's more room for stuff. Use that same principle in your house.
So can I flip that and ask if vacant homes sell? So, because I've seen artificially staged homes where it's literally empty rooms, and then the next picture will be the same room with fake furniture in it. Yeah.
Yes.
So does that help or hurt, or what do people think when they're walking into a vacant home?
Couple things. I'm not really sure how I feel about this virtual staging because most of the time I see it done so poorly. Yeah, it looks like a South Park episode. Like somebody cut out some furniture and stuck it on the...
Right.
It'll give you an idea. And I don't know. I guess time will flesh out whether or not that is valuable. But a staged home, an empty home always sells for less money.
Which sells for less?
Always.
An empty home or a grubby home?
Grubby.
Okay, so
a clean, empty home is
grubby,
a better and easier yes than a grubby.
Grubby, empty, grubby lived in.
Depends. How much stuff is there? I mean, Cassandra, I've sold houses where there is every horizontal surface is packed with shit, and this is after the seller cleaned, after they packed because they think everybody's standards are so different, and when you start seeing the spectrum that people live inside of, I don't know. Your measurements get really off. My definition of normal has really radically changed.
Do you walk into your house and you're like, this place is fucking clean compared
Depends
to
on
some?
where I've been that day.
Right.
I tell you what, some days I come home from work and I am like, I live in this palace and I'm so lucky. It's a mansion. And then other days I come home and I'm like, why do I live in this crumbling trailer? It's a shithole. I deserve better. It depends on where I've been.
Well, you could be like me, work from home, never leave, and you just, everything's fine. Every day is the same.
Is that the secret? Never leave your house. Yeah. Everything is fine.
Well,
interesting.
When we bought
That's
our house,
some philosophy in there.
Well, you'll talk about blinders, but when we bought our house, it was vacant because it was a foreclosure. It didn't smell great. I could not perceive furniture spatially. I really struggled with some of the things that I probably wouldn't had there been any furniture in it.
Having anything in a space helps a buyer understand it. Buyers
can't throw a mattress on the floor.
Inflatable mattress with a bedspread on it, a chair and a table. Even just not a rocking chair. Please don't put fucking rocking chairs in pictures. They look creepy.
Unless you're putting dolls on them.
That's added creep factor.
Yes, with some little orbs kind of hanging if you can. Hanging.
Weird it up. Know your buyer. There's a small caveat to the vacant house thing. Well, the market, the context in which you are selling is important. And right now, the context for houses on the market is there aren't that many, especially in certain price ranges. So I do feel like right now, if a house is vacant and clean, there are so many buyers who need that one house. It may be a little less valuable to have furniture in it right now.
Right. Which probably is why, depending on the realtor's mentality or the market mentality, Box Brownie, my assumption, is much cheaper than Box Brownie is a virtual staging company. Just you can look it up, but
they provide the cutouts of furniture to put in the living room.
But my assumption is Box Brownie is cheaper than hiring an actual stager with furniture that they move in and move out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I do feel like, if you can have home staging, even just have somebody with an eye for, what looks good, come into your house and stage with your own items, it's probably going to be the most cost-effective solution.
Okay. So do you offer that service as a realtor?
I do. I can't help it. And
do you charge for it, or is it just kind of part of your services?
No,
I'm serious. I'm not trying to plug her. I literally don't know.
It's baked in, and sometimes it's not necessary, and sometimes it's very necessary. The thing is, I often am doing it while we're doing pictures because things don't look good in pictures that look good in real life sometimes. This is like back to modeling days, right? There were so many times I was in a photo shoot in the dumbest outfit, but it looked great in the picture.
Humble brag.
Yes, humble brag. You can't move because your clothes are
pinned,
paper clipped on the back to make them hang a certain way, just for the picture. So if you take that knowledge and overlay it into doing photos in a house, sometimes stuff that looks good while you're there looks dumb in pictures. So you got to move it to make it, we want to make it easy for people to get off their ass and get in their car and come look at it in person. Then when they get there, we got to make them feel happy feelings. Anyway, we're way into philosophy. I want to say, hide your fucking cables. Sorry. Easy things, clean your house, clean your front door, hide your cables. That stupid cable that goes from your TV down to whatever it's plugged into down there, just fucking get rid of it. Sorry.
Do you just unplug it for pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
Close your toilet.
Yeah, I know that's one of your favorites, the open toilet.
Make sure your realtor isn't in the reflection of the bathroom mirror holding their cell phone taking your picture.
Oh, what? we could talk about listing photos. I feel like I don't know if it's the market's so hot. There are some realtors who are like, whatever, my phone will take just fine pictures.
They're not just fine pictures.
I would imagine the professionally staged or the professional photos, regardless of whether it's staged or not, right? The professional photos equate to more showings, at least.
Yes. And better buyers, more qualified buyers.
Okay.
This is all feeling manipulation. And I don't mean manipulation like we're evil and doing bad things. I mean, like, if you look at I have a client right now on contract on a house that's been sitting for 56 or 58 days on the market. You know
What's
why?
wrong with
Because
it?
the pictures suck. It's an amazing house. I almost didn't take him to see it because the exterior picture is dumb. It was done with a cell phone. It was a point and shoot picture. A photographer would have been able to, I don't know, highlight and low light or whatever the hell they do to make it look like, wow, come see me. This was like, here's a house. We went and saw it.
This is a house right here.
It's an amazing house. Yeah, pro tip, if you're shopping for a house and you can't find one, go look at the ones that look dumb on pictures, but if they match your description on paper, go see it anyway.
Okay. And if it's been on the market for a while, generally, there's something maybe not wrong with it, but in this case, it was pictures. It could be. I remember going to look at a house years ago. It was kind of on a busy road, but it looked wonderful. And we walked in and it totally smelled like cat piss in the basement. But overlaid on the cat piss was a bunch of Glade plugins.
No,
so you didn't smell it. And then you smelled it. And it was like horrific.
So that's a good one too. What not to do. Don't over perfume your house with cover up smells. It's worse.
I want it to smell like lemons or oranges or just baked cookies or whatever. That old old trick.
Right, baked cookies.
Yeah.
Put vanilla in your teapot.
Wait, do I have a teapot?
Better.
Yeah, but I want it to smell like citrus, like clean, not like bleach, because then I think you're hiding blood stains everywhere or something. I don't know. It's some weird mental.
What you don't want to do is have it smell like you're trying to cover up a smell. Like with the cat piss that you just talked about, you got punched in the face by, I don't know, mango passion fruit
or
and
clean
then cat
linen
piss
or something. And then I was like, what
and
is
if it's too big, if it's too big of a perfumey smell, even if you can't find what you're trying to hide, you wonder, what are they trying to hide? Right?
Yeah. Because there were so many of them. I think that might have done it. There were like 4 or 5 plugged in this little basement. And
either remediate the cat piss or price accordingly. Price like a house that has a cat piss smell.
Smells like, put it in the listing. Smells like cat piss. Pull the carpet out and kills it. We don't have time to do it, right?
Yep. Just let it be known that you know the condition and you're priced accordingly.
Yeah. Okay, so are there any other? Can I offer my one tip if you're selling your house?
Yes.
If you're selling a house and you are buying another house, before you list your current house, I'm just going to recommend that you call a loan officer,
oh my gosh,
a bank, a lender to make sure that you can actually buy another home, because I have had people call me and go, hey, my house is pending. It's, we're closing in 3 weeks and I need to buy another house. And I'm like, what the shit? You could have called me a month ago. We could have, increased your score, given tips and tricks, like so many things. But it really sucks when people aren't actually ready to buy a new house, but they're ready to sell their current house because nobody wants to rent in the middle.
As a seller, you have almost, at least in the contracts that I see, 0 opportunity to get out of the contract. You can decline requests from the buyer all day long, but you can't terminate the contract, generally speaking. Obviously, read your fucking contract. Don't take what I said as gospel, but most sales contracts for real estate do not favor the seller terminating for any reason.
Yeah. So my first tip if you're thinking about selling your house and you have to buy another one, oh my God, just call a lender. It doesn't matter who, just to make sure that you can buy another one, because so many people take it for granted. Like, well, I own a home now. I'll just get another house.
Yeah.
And I'll use the money from this house to buy another one, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can.
And look at the actual numbers, because you may in your head go, well, I might, my house is going to sell for X. I'm going to clear Y. Well, you're probably not. The numbers, you got to account for all the numbers. What you
figure
owe,
out
what it's going to cost to sell, what you might actually sell for compared to what you think you're going to sell for.
And then in this market, I don't want to derail the conversation. Maybe I shouldn't say it. In this market, if you bought, I'm going to say it anyway. Come on.
Yeah.
But if you bought 5 years ago and you're a move up buyer, right? There's a pretty good chance you're going to make a lot of money on the sale of your current home, but you're going to have to spend all of that money
and then
some to get your move up home. And it's usually not a step up. It's almost like a sideways step for a lot of people. That sounds terrible. It used to be a step up, but it's such a competitive market now. Anyway,
this is the balanced equation conversation. This is another theme through many of the conversations you and I have. You can't only look at the proceeds and the increase in value of the house you're selling. You also have to look at the increase in value of the house you're buying. The market you sell in is the same one you buy in. 100%.
Yeah. I could make a mint if we sold this house, even with that weird art.
Absolutely.
It's impersonal, but we could make really good money. I would have to take all of that money to buy another house similar to this one, right?
Yes.
So it's not a step up. It's a sideways step.
What else you got?
I don't have much. This is not my area of expertise. I know that I'm supposed to, if I've learned anything from you, it's clean my house. Better if I hire somebody. Pay attention to the outside, because that's the first thing people will see.
Yes.
Right? Get my crap out of there and make it look like a hotel.
Yeah.
Right? And trust my realtor if they're moving stuff. Don't take it's not personal. Don't take it personal. It's a fucking business transaction. Don't be so butthurt if nobody wants your pink wallpaper if they tell you to take it down.
Yeah. And do the things. You got to do the things. It's incredibly frustrating to spend hours in someone's home and give them just the high level, like, hey, do this. People constantly have me over to their house. What do we need to do to get ready to sell? And I will tell them. And then they don't do any of it. And they're like, okay, can we do pictures? Sure. But you're not going to get this. We talked about the numbers. If you want to be closer to the top of the range of value, the more of the things that you do, the higher the likelihood you're going to recover that top dollar.
Do you have a tip for the number one thing? If I only had time to do one thing?
Clean your house.
Okay.
Cleaning's first. Front door is huge. Oh, yeah. Can I tell you this? A lot of agents don't know this too. I can't tell you how many times I show a house and we have to go in through a side door or through the garage, into the mudroom, into the laundry room. You're making a first impression. If your front door is the welcoming, warm entry, we all know nobody uses their damn front door. Route people through the front door. First impression. That's just, again, manipulating the psychology of the buyer.
Okay, so not through the garage, which is where people will come in 360 days out of the year when they live there.
Yep.
So clean the house, pay attention to the front door.
Hide half of your stuff.
Yep. And that all
Most of your
equals
money.
better proceeds, right?
Yes.
More money, a faster sale time, right?
Yep. And you're
Which
better
you
off.
assume is all good things.
It is. And you're better off, doing all of the minor paint repairs than you are putting in a new furnace. The house is expected to have a furnace. And if it's functioning, though people don't love a 20-year-old furnace, if it's working and it's clean, what? Why are you making that face? I'm serious.
I think we bought a house with a 20-year-old furnace, and that bitch is 30 years old, and it's still perfectly fine. It was not one of the major things.
Nope. And we maintain it every year.
Curse myself. Me too.
And people selling their houses get excited. We got new windows. We put a new roof on. We got all the mechanicals, and those are valuable and they provide peace of mind. But buyers buy the sizzle. And if you've got 30 holes in one wall from your fucking paint and pour collage, that's going to cost you more money because buyer psychology is like, oh my God, fix the fucking holes and paint the wall.
Yeah, only a furnace repairman or a furnace person would open the door and be like, no, nah, that furnace is unacceptable. Most of us are like, does it run?
Yep.
I'll take
Your
it.
home inspector is going to be like, that is reaching the end of its lifespan. They're supposed to say that. They have to.
Always. I just found my old home inspection from 11 years ago. Apparently, my house should be a crumble of ashes at this point.
Both of my water heaters should be toast by now, but they're not.
Yeah. Okay, so
anyway.
Listen to your realtor, prep. Hopefully you get some professional pictures done. If you don't, ask your realtor what you're paying them for. That's my personal annoyance is garbage pictures.
Among
just
other
because
things.
It's kind of part of the thing, but all right. And so if everybody does this, should be top dollar, right?
Yeah. Fast sale, more money. And you'll already be well on your way to moving out because all your weird shit's packed up. You're moving anyway. So just start taking action as though you're moving and it'll be great. Including your banana phone stand.
All of your weird things get packed up and it's very sad.
It is.
But you get to live like you're in a hotel for 3 weeks maybe while it's closing.
That's why you want to do all of the heavy lifting up front. Because the longer you have to fucking keep your house immaculate while people are coming through and looking at it, and it is such a disruption. And the psychological drain is incredible. People get really worn out fast when they have to do 5, 6, 7 weeks of people trudging because the picture sucked or it was priced incorrectly or one of the intentional things was not done intentionally. It throws the whole math out of whack.
So ideally, if you've prepped correctly, it will be a very quick time on market, which means it's weird because a quick time on market usually means one of two things. It was priced right and it is perfection and everybody wants it, or it was underpriced and an investor snapped it up and they're going to flip it for a profit by doing crap. It's usually, it feels like it's one of the two.
You know how you know the difference?
What the house smells like.
No, I mean, that's key. No, the missing piece of that equation when you're looking at those situations, because it's a common buyer objection. Did I get the top dollar? Did we just underprice? The question is, did the majority of buyers who have the ability to buy your house come see it and decide whether or not they want it? That's how you know. If you hit the market and get an offer on day one and accept it, you may have done yourself a disservice, in my opinion.
Which is usually why they're like highest best due by Sunday at midnight or something or whatever.
I'm not a fan of that. It's not a good strategy.
We'll talk about that later.
All right. But yeah, just position, best foot forward. Online dating. You need to have a good online dating profile for your house. And then you need that first date to make people feel like they want to marry you. That's it. The rolling.
Get them up.
Oh, she's doing it again. That's right.
Doing the boob thing again.
Make them perk up those titties.
Right. Perk them up. Get a push up.
That should be the title of this episode. Perk up those titties. Selling your house?
Okay, change it.
Get a push up bra.
We'll edit it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I don't think I have anything else.
See you later. I got nothing else. Thanks for all the tips and tricks. We do have 2 attachments that will be able to be found in the show notes.
You should be able to download them. The list that you saw earlier and then an infographic that's even simpler, same information.
Because there's like 800. So call a pro regardless of what you're doing. You can do it on your own, but you're just going to leave money on the table.
Yep.
Just leave it on my table if you want to leave it anywhere.
Are we doing this? Real estate goggles. Keep them on, people.
Yep. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
The info given is current as of this recording, but remember, the market changes and real estate is hyper local.